Hey guys, welcome back to the Math Dojo. I'm really excited to be here. This is part 3 of our graphing series. We're going to be graphing inequalities today. There's a lot of different ways to graph inequalities. You see this from pre-algebra to algebra and algebra 2, but today we're just going to go through the basics and the rules on how to graph an inequality. So we're only going to be graphing one line today. Let me know down in the comments if you do want to see a video, because there are a lot more rules when you have 2 or 3 inequalities that you are trying to graph on the same graph. Rules like where to shade, different test points. So if you want to see a video like that, let me know down in the comments. So I've been teaching this lesson for what seems to be like 100 times, and every time I always get those aha moments at the end where the kids understand and they get it. So this channel is not only to help you with your math, but also a bunch of tips and strategies that I've learned over the years, being an elementary teacher to a middle school teacher, and just life in general, the everyday struggles that I've gone through. So I just want to implement those on my channel so I can give back and I can help somebody. If I can reach one person, that would be awesome for me. We're going to get into it right now. We'll get into the nitty-gritty, all about inequalities, how to graph an inequality. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first inequality that we are going to be graphing is going to be y is less than or equal to 2x minus 4. This right here, this inequality is in the form of y equals mx plus b, with the same thing as our m being our slope, our b being the y-intercept. So our slope for this equation is going to be 2. Remember, not the x, but the number in front of the x, the coefficient. And then our y-intercept is going to be -4. -4, remember, you have to take the sign in front of the number there, okay? So with knowing this, okay, we are doing an inequality here, not a regular linear function, but it's set up in the same form where -4 is where the line of the graph will cross the y-intercept. So we look on our y-axis because it's the y-intercept. Okay, so where does it intersect the y? It will intersect at -4. So we'll put a point right there at -4, and then we're going to take a look at our slope. Now our slope is 2, and a lot of times we think of slope as rise over run, or the change in x over the change in y. Okay, so we need a number in the denominator. So how can we change this 2 into a fraction? We can put it over 1. Okay, so our rise would be +2 and our run would be 1. Okay, so starting at this point, -4, we would rise 2, which would go up 1, 2. Okay, and then we would go over 1 to the right, right? And then we would put a dot right there. Okay, same thing, we can do it again. Rise 2, we can rise 1, 2 over 1 and put a dot right there. Okay, one more time, I'm going to rise 2 and I'm going to run 1 and put a dot right there. Okay, and now you can see if I make my line here, okay, here is going to be where my graph, okay, this is where my graph of the line is going to be, and I should extend it all the way, but right now I am not going to. But this is where the difference of an inequality comes from. An inequality, we use greater than or less than symbols if you have a equal sign. So this is less than or equal to, your line is going to be solid, okay? If this was less than only without an equal to sign, this is when our graph of the line would be a dotted line, okay? When it's less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, okay, it's a solid line. So there's the difference right there. And then, like I said in the beginning, whenever you graph a linear function that has an equal sign, like up here, all of the solutions are on this line right here. But the difference between an inequality is our solutions are not on the line, okay? They're in a section of the coordinate plane here. So we need to have a testing point. So the easiest testing point to have is going to be the origin. If I pick my point 0, 0, and I plug it into the equation, my y is less than or equal to 2x minus 4. Okay, my y is going to be 0, is less than or equal to 2 times 0, because my x is 0 from here, okay, minus 4. So this would be 0 is less than or equal to 0 minus 4 is going to be negative 4. This, this right here is not true, okay? So that means if your testing point is not true, then this testing point is not a solution. So we would not shade in this way to include this 0, 0 origin point. We would not shade in that way. We would shade in the other way, okay? So all of these sides this way are going to be solutions to this inequality here, okay? So in this example, it's not going to be set up in the form of y is less than or equal to mx plus b. In this case, we're starting off with negative 2y is less than 4x minus 6, okay? And in this case, what we have to do first is we have to get the y by itself. And in order to get the y by itself, we would have to divide both sides by negative 2x. The number before the variable is called the coefficient. So when you divide by a negative coefficient, this symbol changes to the opposite direction. So in this case, it is less than. It's going to change to greater than. Okay, so this is how it will work. These will cancel out because negative 2 over negative 2 equals 1. Okay, so we're left with y. And then instead of less than, it's going to change to greater than. Okay, 4 divided by negative 2 is going to be negative 2x. Okay, negative divided by negative is going to be a positive. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so now we have our inequality here that we can graph. So y is greater than negative 2x plus 3, okay, where our slope, okay, is negative 2, and our y-intercept is 3, okay, a positive 3. So again, the y-intercept is where we want to start, okay, this positive 3 we're going to find on the y-axis. Okay, the y-axis goes up and down. If you want to learn more or get a review or a refresher course on the x and y-axis and a song to remember it, I do have a video on that. That's in the playlist down below. So getting back to this, your y-intercept here is going to be positive 3. So I'm going to find positive 3 on my y-axis and put a point right there. Okay. Now my slope is negative 2, and again, you want the change in x over the change in y, or we say rise over run. So our rise would be negative 2. We're actually going to go down 2 because it's negative, and then we need to change this into a fraction. So negative 2 over 1 is negative 2, right? So our slope was negative 2, so this is going to be the same if I put it over 1. So I'm going to go down 2 because this is a negative sign, and I'm going to go to the right, which is a positive way, 1 time, okay? This is the same as saying I can go up 2, okay, and then to the left once, okay? 2 over negative 1 is going to be negative 2, or negative 2 over 1 is going to be negative 2. Either way, you're going to get the same line, and I'm going to show you that right now. So let's use negative 2 over 1. Okay, so I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2, and to the right 1 time, which is right here. And I'm going to put a point right there. Okay, again, go down 2, to the right once, and I'm going to put a point right there. Okay, one more time, down 2, and to the right once, and I'm going to put a point right there. Okay, let's just for fun show you what happens if I go up 2 and to the left once. Okay, if I start from this 3 point that I have here and I go up 2 and to the left once, okay, it's just going to continue my line going up the other way, this way, in this direction here. Okay, so let's try to connect those lines as best, or those dots as best we can, and make our graph here. Okay, so this is what I end up with, a graph this way. Okay, only this is not correct. Okay, because I have this greater than sign, but it does not have an equal sign, my graph cannot be a solid line. Okay, I have to make my graph into a dotted line. Okay, it's not a solid line because it doesn't have the equal to. It just is greater than. So it is a dotted line. Okay, now I'm going to do my testing point, which again, 0, 0 is always a good testing point. So I'm going to take my y is greater than negative 2x plus 3 and input my 0, 0. So y is 0. It's greater than negative 2 times 0 plus 3. So 0 is greater than negative 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. So 0 is greater than 3 is not true. So that means this point, my testing point 0, 0, is not a part of the solution. So I'm going to shade in everything on this right side of the line, because if I would have shaded to the left side, it would have included my testing point, which would have made that not true. Now you don't have to do 0, 0 as your testing point. You can pick any point on the line or on the graph to be your testing point. I could have picked negative 4, comma 2 and did that, but the fastest way and the easiest way is to pick 0, 0. It's just what everyone usually picks as their testing point. But this is my solution. Usually if you are looking at a test or something like that, you would see this whole part of the graph shaded in. And that's because when we get into other graphing of inequalities, like when we graph a system of inequalities, or when we graph more than one inequality on the same coordinate plane, it gets a little trickier. So let me know down in the comments if you want to see that video to how to graph a system of linear inequalities. But yes, that would be the end of this example right here. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you got a lot out of this, and I'll see you right now. If you learned something, don't forget to like the video. Write down in the comments, I got it. So for the month of May, we are trying to get to the 100 subscribers. So please share the video. If you like the video, make sure you like it so YouTube can recommend it. Make sure you guys are subscribed and you hit the bell so that you know when I'm posting each video. And you don't miss out on any of the lessons, because that's gonna make me happy. I know that you're happy now that you've got it, and yeah, we can all be happy here at home. Sitting at home. I hope you guys are staying safe, being healthy, keeping yourself and your family safe. Please know that you are not alone and we are in this together. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.